Alright guys, so I just recorded a whole video and it didn't save. So I'm gonna try to walk you through what I just did. So we are going back to the beginning of the year and we are talking about place value. And we are gonna be looking at standard form, expanded form, and word form. So in this problem up here, the population of Botswana is about 1,882,000. Write this number in standard, expanded, and word form. So standard form is just how you would normally see numbers, just like regular numbers. So this number right here, this 1,882,000, that is written in standard form. Standard just means normal. Expanded form is when you take the digits of the value of each digit and you expand it to write it. So this 8, there we go. This 8 is not just an 8, it's actually an 800,000 because that's the place that it's in. And then word form is just the words that you say when you read the number. So when I did this in standard form, I took, let me move this paper. I took the digits of, here we go, where everything was, and I just wrote it in standard form, and I filled in the missing pieces. So right here, I use the commas as a kind of like a good guide to see where I'm missing numbers. So I saw that there's a comma right here, and there's a comma right here, and to the left of it was a 1, so I put a 1 here, and the name of that comma is actually million. So when I read this number, I don't say million until I hit that comma. So far I've got 1 million, and then this 8 is 800, and then I've got 82 left, 82, and then the name of this comma is 1,000. So far, 1,882,000, and then there's nothing in the ones place, so it's just zeros. So that number is 1,882,000. And then when we do expanded form, we take the value of each digit and we write the full value. So this 1 would actually be 1 million, and that's what they wrote here. This is what 1 million looks like. And then the value of this 8 in the hundred thousands place is 800,000. It's very important to make sure your commas are in the right spot when you do this, because if you don't put the commas in the right spot, you don't have the right number. A good rule of thumb is when you write the number, go ahead and just write all the zeros and then go back and write the commas. So when you start from the right, you count 1, 2, 3, then put a comma. You don't start on the left, you start on the right. So 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, every third number coming this way. So 1 million plus 800,000 plus 80,000 plus, and then all we had left was that 2,000 right here. So we wrote 2,000. There's no reason to write 0, 0, 0. You can if you want to, but it's not going to change the value of your number. So this is what that would look like in expanded form. And then word form is just the words that you say when you read a number. So 1 million, I think they have that. Yep, 1 million. And then this number, when we read, we don't read the 1,000 or the million until we get to the comma. So 1 million, read this full number, 882, then 1,000. So I wrote 882,000. And then since there's zeros left, there's nothing else left to do. So that is standard form, expanded form, and word form. So I'm going to kind of go over what I did. Oh, what else I did? So I sent everyone a copy of this place value chart. I have it in a dry erase pocket, so I can actually use my Expo marker on it and I can erase it. If you don't have one of those at home, you can use a whiteboard, or you can just write on this paper. I sent it in an email if you want to use it. Totally up to you, but I highly suggest using it just because we haven't done this since August and it might be a little bit confusing at first. So what I did to solve this one was I looked at the words and I read it out loud. So 349,025. So I went over here to my place value chart and I just kind of started writing the numbers down. So remember, we don't say the thousand until we get to this comma right here. So I'm going to look at it and it says 349. So I know that I need to fit the number. I don't need the millions at all because I don't have any millions. I need to put the number 349 here, 349,000, and then I have 25 left. I have to put a 0 in the hundreds place because there is no hundreds. If I don't put 100, or if I don't put a 0 there, then it's going to change my number. And then 2 should go in the tens place and a 5 in the ones. So this is 349,025. And then for the second one, I looked at the values of each one, and that's how I figured out what digit goes where. So on this one, 400,000 plus 90,000 plus 2,000 plus 800 plus 10 plus 4. So this 4 is in the 100,000 spot. So I know that in my paper over here, I need to write a 4 in the 100,000s place. Then I've got 90,000. 90 goes in the 10 spot, so in 9 here. And then 2,000 should go in the 1,000s place. 800, that's an 8 in the 100th spot. 110 would be 1 in the 10s place. And then 4. A good rule of thumb to help you with this one is when you're going from expanded form to standard form, you cannot put more than one digit in each little spot. I kind of try to make it small enough so that you couldn't fit one in there. So there should only be one digit in each spot here. So this is 492,814. And that's what I wrote down here. And then going down to the very bottom where it has expanded form and word form, what I did was I looked at I also gave you guys a place value chart at the very bottom, and it goes all the way to 1 billions. That way it'll help you kind of see what place values are when you're looking at a number. So I know that this 4 is in the 100,000s spot. So the value of this 4 had to be 400,000. This 9 is in the 10,000s. So 9 times 10,000 is 90,000. 2 is in the thousands place, so it's 2,000. Plus 0, plus the 3 in the 10 spot, plus the 2. So like I said earlier, you don't have to add this 0 because if you don't add it, you're not going to change the value. But what I like to do is I like to make sure I put the 0 in there because I can count the number of digits, and that's how many numbers I should have added. So this number has 6 digits, and I added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I know that I got all of those digits in the right spot. And then to do the word form, I just read the number out loud. So remember, when you read the numbers, you have to read this 3-digit number before you say the name of the comma. So this one is 492,000. So I wrote 492, then put the 1,000, then a comma. You always want to put a comma where the comma comes in the number. And then what's left was 32. So 492,032. And then on the very last one, the exact same thing. So I took the value of this 3, which was 3 million because it's in the millions place. Plus, I did put that 0 because, like I said, I like to double check the number of digits and the number of numbers that I'm adding. This 2 was in the 10,000s place, so it's 20,000. 8 is in the 1,000s place, so 8,000. I added those 2 zeros, and then 2 was left. This number is 3,028,002. So I wrote 3 million, comma, the comma in the number, 28,000, comma, 2. We don't say and because when we say and, it means that you have a decimal in the number, and we're not working with the decimals anymore. We're going back to just working with whole numbers. So remember, standard form of numbers is just regular what numbers look like. Like this number would be standard form. Expanded form is when you take the value of each digit and you expand it all the way and add it together. So this would be expanded form. And then word form is just the words that you say when you read numbers. So 492,032. There are no ands in your number. And then double check to make sure that you have a comma where the comma comes in the number. Don't worry about spelling. Get as close as you possibly can. But if you get confused or if you don't know how to write something, there are the place values written up here in the correct spot. So you could copy that. And a lot of these pages also have the different numbers written too. So you can look around or just try to get as close as you can. No big deal. You can also look in your math journal if you have it. Your math journal should have a lot of these notes from the beginning of the year. So use this video, use your math journal, and then also use your place value chart that I emailed your parents. Good luck.